one. Aha!
Ah,
Hello!
hello, everyone.
All right. Sorry for the noise. I was trying to get closer to Steven. Otherwise, it feels like that we don't like each other. We're always sitting this far away. We're like, okay, this is the introvert stream. We don't sit close to each other.
So in honor of Biogenesis, I've been wearing my Reject Humanity, Evolve into Crab shirt.
Can you remember how the theory is called?
Carcination.
Carcination. Do you want to remind our viewers what does it imply?
So everything evolves towards the perfect form, the crab. It's happened multiple times in nature, and it will happen multiple times again.
Is this how we ended up having crabs?
Convergent evolution, yeah.
And so will our future overlords be crabs?
Probably.
Okay, so you heard it here first, and I also want to say, in case they're listening,
They will also be delicious.
I disapprove of this, and I totally approve of all the action of our crab government. Please, crab overlords, be benign towards us. Thank you.
Or dip yourselves in the garlic.
Okay, but jokes aside, hello everybody. This is the Stellaris weekly stream where we joke about crabs together with...
He's joking. I really like crab.
I really like crab,
Okay.
just to be clear.
Today we'll be showing off some of 3997. And then partway through, Alfrey will show up, kick me out of this chair, and take over and show some biomorphosis, since that was today's dev diary.
Yeah, I was trying to give you a segue to introduce yourself, though.
Oh,
who are you? What you
I'm
do?
Stephen Ray. I'm the game director of Stellaris. And who are you?
I am Davide. I do some marketing stuff on Stellaris. And I'm here to read the chat mostly and then make silly puns and so on. I'm the entertainment part and you're the informational part. That's how I like to think of ourselves. All right. Hello, everybody in Twitch chat. Great to see you all. So we're starting with 4.0 and the beta.
Well, 3997. So 3997 is going to be the last update that we're doing to the open beta. The open beta has helped us a huge amount so far. You've found just a tremendous number of problems. I mean, we gave you a tremendous number of problems to find. But you found a lot that we didn't know about, which it means that I'm very thankful about how much you've helped us. We need to get Biogenesis and 4.0 finished, basically.
Yeah.
And maintaining the multiple branches is a lot of overhead that right now I think we can't continue.
Yeah. Right now we need to start putting everything together and see how it looks and continue working there. But also this is an extra update to the beta.
Yeah. Our original plan was to end it at the end of the month, last month. But I decided let's get one more in. This one isn't super huge, but I have some patch notes here. But they fit on one page this time. So
Actually,
there's a couple good ones.
This is a really short patch notes compared to what we had in the past.
Yeah, considering before we're
10 pages.
That's because some of the time this week was spent on actually doing the merge of the two branches and, cherry picking stuff out of it into this branch. And then also just Biogenesis work.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's see. Do we want to go in or
do we? I don't know. So let's see, because we're starting to get some questions, but then I think we can read them as we explore the beta a bit more. So maybe we should start delving to the beta. You can tell us what's happening, because I think that right now the first line, I see that that's a major point.
First line here is AI now uses the focus system. So they will be collecting their little guaranteed technologies as well. We did a bunch of stuff with Colonization UI, adjusted the tooltips in there and made a bunch of changes to the UI to make it better. Increased habitat district jobs. Zones can now be switched from one into another and will keep the buildings that fit in both. This is a major quality of life improvement.
So wait, I didn't have time to check this out, but how does it work for the buildings that do not fit in both? Do they get automatically destroyed? So like you're the major, you say, oh, this district is no longer like, this is, I don't know. Give me an example here.
I'm pretty sure that they all explode, but it's possible that the current implementation says you can't do this until you destroy that building.
Okay, so they're not. We
can try it. Let's find out.
Okay, yeah. Let me do this. They don't get disabled. That was my question. You need to totally remove them. You cannot say, oh, I'm going to swap it and swap it back.
I'm pretty sure that they just literally explode.
All right.
Where's my mouse?
Where's the mouse? It's up there. I saw it. It's up there.
It's up there. Hi, Mouse. Yay.
We have way too many monitors in this room.
Yes.
Just for chat to know. So there is a monitor
There's this
there.
gigantic monitor up above us that.
Which has no antenna cable, according to what's telling us. Then we have a big, like this big monitor in front of us. Then Steven has his own monitor. I have another monitor here, another monitor here.
It's very sci-fi.
It's
on brand.
Nice.
Okay, so let's see. By the way, I saw someone say that, why are we always cheating in these streams? It's because there's a lot of stuff I want to show you, and I only have an hour.
Yeah.
Or in today's case, I have like half an hour before Alfrey kicks me out of the chair. So I cheat to show you more. Maybe next week we should start a legit playthrough on Biogenesis.
Oh, why not?
Because
Yeah.
that way you guys can help us make the thing, and I want to do evolutionary predators though. I'm picking the origin. Okay.
Oh, you want to do one of the new origins?
Yeah.
Nice. I'm up for it. I'm up for it.
Okay. Cannot. Guess what? Did not actually get cherry picked into this branch. This thing that I just want to test. So.
What?
Okay. Well, that answers that.
Okay. So
Either way,
that is that.
later on when this releases, you will be able to swap these archives into something else, and any buildings that do not fit into the new zone will probably explode. An actual fix that went into this one is armies can invade planets again. There still aren't any defenders, so ground combat is very, very easy. Timeline forward and back buttons can now be clicked, even if you have a very lengthy timeline. A lot more pop growth modifiers work. There's fixes to building and job district job outputs being super inflated in, like all sorts of tooltips. Planetary ascension text is in. Concept that referred to industrial districts have been updated. Leaders are now affected by species modification correctly, and a lot of tooltips and fields now show real pop numbers.
Oh, okay.
And
So-
there's a clerk icon fix. I don't know if I mentioned that one.
The clerk fix.
As we're trying to remove most of the clerks.
Okay. Why?
Because nobody liked them anyway.
Okay. Nobody likes.
No, actually, civilians fill most of the role that clerks had before, where they produce a baseline of trade and amenities. And this way it's a little more fluid. In the past, we had considered making clerks a unique job anyway, where they would be subject to auto migration. So we've kind of indirectly done that.
All right.
So let's get some questions.
Yep.
Because I see there's some up there.
Oh, there are a bunch of questions. So let's see. There is a question about the new diary about the cloning Metacorp and replicating Horde.
I'm pretty sure that Megacorp was not actually. That was supposed to be the cloning hive being the replicating horde.
Okay, cloning hive. Okay, can you confirm whether the bit of the new diary saying this involves hives and drones is a type or not? So, okay.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that one's a typo.
Okay. I was about to say maybe we should wait for Alfrey to be here, but we already answered that. Easy. What happens with research debris between bioships and mechanical ships?
It works.
It works.
You'll get, if you're a scavenging type, then you'll get the resources based on what the ships are built out of, if I remember correctly. And otherwise, it'll operate as normal, where if you can get the technologies, then you'll get progress towards them.
Okay.
If they are technologies that you cannot get, then you will not get this.
But so if I am scavenging a bioship, I will get more. It's more likely that I will get food out of it, if I'm understanding this
one
correctly.
of the things you can pick is, do you want research or debris?
Yeah. Exactly. Okay. Can the ecosystem hive origin also have the civic that makes them create pre-sapient through the more expensive colony ship?
Sorry,
Can the ecosystem hive origin also have the civic that makes them create pre-sapiens through the more expensive colony ship?
Oh, the wilderness. We'll be talking about the
Oh,
wilderness,
the wilderness.
in a few
Okay.
weeks when that dev diary is out.
All right. So hold on
In
to
the announcement, I put what week we're going to be talking about which origins. I think wilderness was the last one. So 3 weeks from now.
3 weeks now. What mid-age ascension path is the strongest? This is what we're going to talk about in the second part
we're
of the
going to leave
stream.
that to, we're going to leave mutation and stuff like that to Alfred.
Yeah.
He likes mutation, by the way.
I'm really curious to see how it works.
Oh yeah, you haven't seen it yet.
No, I've seen it, but it never properly worked with me in the development.
So
field.
he was trying to run through it, and on the build, it just didn't work for him.
Just me, like
Just him. Like literally, the same build worked on everyone else's machine.
Even the save file. I send the save file to QA. I say, hey, I don't know what the event is not firing for me, and they're like, no, runs fine by us. So I don't know. Oh, I'm really looking forward to. Okay. What else are we showing in the beta? I think
now we also have the flavor text on the rural zones. We've added a little more flavor to the city districts. These are based largely on the technologies you have, because most of they mostly only have one zone. There are the Betharian zones and things like that, which will also affect the flavor text. But it's like, hey, you've got deep core mines, and then that's when this will change if you've built the mineral zone.
So I was reading Alfrey asking, do you want me to head to the studio? No, we continue here 20 minutes, Alfrey, and then you're more than welcome to join us.
He's going to totally break down the door.
Yeah, so could you, it's my time, let's go.
I'm losing my voice this week, so that's one of the reasons he was like, hey, you want me to come down and talk about Biogenesis? I'm like, yes, I do.
All right. Yeah, he's also was asking me the weeks prior, oh, can I be part of the stream? So he's really excited to be here, I imagine. All right.
Okay, so actually, you know what? I want to play like, I want to not cheat.
Oh, are we not cheating now?
Are we not cheating now?
Okay, what are we playing? Commonwealth of Men.
Commonwealth of Men. Because we've been doing UNE too much.
All right.
So my favorite quirk about the Commonwealth of Man is their unique planetary features. Because there's this forgotten civilization on their planet, and they have absolutely no idea what happened to them. At least that's what the history books say.
I'm trying to remember if I ever played as... Like, I think I played as the Commonwealth of Man. Did I? I don't know. Anyway, now I want to find out what happened to the civilization. Oh, no.
Nothing happened.
Okay, nothing happened.
There was never a civilization that existed there.
Okay.
You know, you can keep asking me questions while I'm...
I'm reading the question because I also need to... I'm reading also Alfred Strike saying that absolutely nothing happened on Unity in caps lock in the chat. So totally reliable. All right. There was...
energy grid and stuff like that became way better now because you need global energy management, mineral purification, and food processing here.
And how does it make it better?
Because you need them in order to unlock.
Oh, it's one of the research that you need to unlock those. Okay, yes.
Now they're
better. Yeah, sorry, I'm halfway following you and halfway leading here. Okay, so do you guys have plans on what extra building slots we'll do in 4.0? I think we already showed that.
We're actually generally removing the extra building slots things and replacing them with other stuff. Hey, let's see if this build has any of them. Oh, look, I'm not cheating anymore, so I can't show you stuff.
Well, there is always the console.
No,
no, we're not cheating.
I got scolded for cheating, so now no more cheating.
All right, but that's
until Alfrey comes down. Then he's gonna cheat us.
That's why we cheat, to show you things.
To show you stuff.
Without anyway, how do we get unemployed pops to become civilians? Or if a pop is unemployed, they're also a civilian.
So unemployed pops. Here, I'm gonna pause now.
Yeah.
Unemployed pops will demote down through the strata until they hit unemployed worker, and then after that, they will continue to demote down into civilian. Both unemployed and civilian pops are allowed to migrate. So, yeah.
Okay. But so civilian is even lower than unemployed in Stellaris terminology.
In the ranking categories, it is below the unemployed, but they don't think of themselves as that.
Okay.
Also, depending on your headcanon of your empire, like in an empire that is utopian abundant and stuff like that, being a standard civilian is fine. There's like no shame in this. It's totally okay.
Actually, yes. Why do I have heavy props to be employed? Why can I have nobody being employed and everybody's enjoying the fruitful work of?
You can totally do that.
Yeah.
You should do that.
Okay. Perfect.
In fact, you should get a bunch of robots to do this for you, and then play a rogue server empire.
Ooh, okay. Mine was more reflection on real life. I'm like, why am I here doing work? I could send a robot to do this. Hey, ChatGPT, can you do the stream for me?
Do you do like doing creative things? Look, alien life. What a surprise. We certainly never encountered alien life before.
Totally. There was totally not another civilization. Nothing was happening in Unity.
We have never discovered alien life before.
All right.
We must prepare to combat.
To what extent do you think that this district work is complete? How many changes and comments from the forum are you going to take into account?
We've actually been taking a lot of the feedback into account. I know that there is a lot of like, hey, it's not done yet. Yeah, it's not done yet. There is a lot of stuff that we would like to continue doing. From the very beginning, we knew that our goals for the initial 4.0 release was to make sure that you can do everything that you wanted to, or basically everything you could do in 3.14, you can continue to do, plus a little bit more. But we plan on expanding on the system greatly over the rest of the year.
Yeah, the idea is that 4.0 is the start
of the baseline. It'll be the start of this.
The start of this, and then we're going to continue working and making it better and better and better, and offering you more opportunity for gameplay. That's my understanding of it.
I mean, if you go back just a few weeks to the 0.1 branch and compare that to what we have right now, it's pretty significant.
We should probably do it. Like maybe next week, have them ready both and show them side by side.
Side by side.
They don't have a screenshot just to
split screen.
Just get a screenshot, right? Just get a screenshot. Say, hey, this is how it looked, and this is how it looks now, because the progress is noticeable, right?
I haven't been able to respond to a lot of the posts on the forum and stuff because I'm busy, fixing things. But I do read it all, even where you tell me that I shouldn't be shipping this.
Yes. Oh, okay. You as the player, I never told you. No, I can also guarantee that, because there is a thing that tell him that he should not be doing, which is read all the comments one by one. But Steven is always very vocal that, hey, they're talking to us. I will read every comment. Because
I read every comment to every dev diary that we write.
Yeah.
And sometimes there's threads that I lurk in.
Yes, and I'm like, hey, Steven, we have a community team. Their job is like read and filter into the comments and send them to you. Say, hey, this is what they're going to say. And Steven is like, no, I need to read all of this.
You guys have changed the system a lot with your comments, and we've taken a lot of that into account. There's still several weeks to go, and I think that we'll have changes that are basically not quite of the scope between 0.0 and 0.7, but there are a bunch of changes that we're still planning to do. Or it works on my machine. I've already been doing a bunch of changes that aren't in this build.
Okay. Let's see. Will we be able to do both robotic and organic assembly at the same time and different species at the same time?
Yes.
Yes.
So actually, robotic assembly will always be dedicated towards a single model. I'm pretty sure that's how we have it working right now. Organic assembly was kind of we wanted you to be able to use that square and have that growth track. In the new system, it's not necessary. We're changing organic growth over to pop growth add, basically. So that species will have a flat amount of growth every month, or those species split across their different pop groups. But yes, short technical details aside, yes, you will be able to have machines and organics being assembled simultaneously and growing simultaneously. That was like half the reason why we went for the larger pop scaling here of multiplying everything by 100.
All right.
Other things that I plan on doing is I want to put numbers on all of these, because right now you can see the number of people working in each of these jobs here, but it should just be a number right here. So expect that.
Okay, so you know that you have 906 specialists.
Yeah, we have 906 specialists.
Yes, and then
6 of them are employed.
And then
but
by
you
category.
should see that there's 80 physicists and 80 biologists and 80 engineers, and these icons need to change, so you'll be able to tell which one's which.
Okay.
Stuff like that. There's still a lot of work to do on this screen.
Yeah. And
these numbers need to actually show, because it's kind of hilarious that it's just ...
Yep.
Things you'll also notice here are we've made a bunch of fixes for civilians, so civilians no longer show up here in the unemployed section. And since I have less than 100 unemployed pops, we no longer have the angry red briefcase here.
Oh, okay.
Construction
That might be the
complete.
greatest change to this.
It is one of the greatest changes.
because it was really like
It's a call to action saying, hey, you need to do something about this, but you actually don't.
Yeah.
Here, when I colonize the second world, I will get the orange briefcase to let me know that there are pups migrating from Unity, but it won't be the angry red one.
Okay.
Unless there's 100 unemployed angry people.
Anomaly found.
Anomaly found.
Will you be increasing the number of job zones? The number of job zones in per district level, the current job numbers are far too low.
So we are continually, we are going to be balancing some of these numbers, but we do want you to have a pool of civilians in order to handle your early colonization and things like that. So you are supposed to have some spare pops.
Okay. So it's normal to have an unemployment rate of 6 to 7%, like it's modern time and a modern Western country.
Actually, one of the things that we've currently been playing around with is with automation, trying to figure out exactly how many civilians should you have before automation is like, this is a problem, we should probably build stuff. So that's something that we're currently toying with.
If you find a solution, I'm pretty sure that many governments will be interested into that. All right. Do Death Cult and Necrophage do conversion over time or hundreds every 10 years?
I'm not sure, actually. That's something to ask the content team.
Okay.
We can figure out the answer and answer it next week.
All right.
Or maybe Alfrey will know because he kind of knows random things.
Also, Alfrey is about to... Alfrey, can you ask this question to the content team? And when you come downstairs, have the answer?
Yeah.
Then we have... Also, I will pronounce the name of this player that asked this question, but it's very like... Zgrzd. That's their name. Zikaril asked, will we get food kilo structure? For example, a food arc furnace?
That'd be awesome. One day probably, actually. Well, we did actually talk about that at one point because...
of course you did.
Of course we did. We were considering doing something where if you took a wet world, you could build... Kind of like how you can build the arc furnace on a molten world. You could build this on a wet world, and instead of colonizing it, and it would just produce mass amounts of food. So it could be an ocean world or tropical or...
And then you would get fish out of the molten furnace.
Just broccoli. The broccoli planet.
Ew. That's worse than your Pathfinder character giving me kumquat every time we had a fight. Hey, do you want a kumquat?
System reconnaissance
All
completed.
right. Let's see. Left arm. Do you have any plans on changing basic strategic resources, such as crystal, gases, etc.?
Not right now. We're pretty happy with the current spread of resources. I do miss some of the like super old ones a little bit, where they gave you different bonuses for having them, but
not right now.
All
right. Oimes is asking, the current zone system
Complete.
made the housing redundant. Have you ever thought about housing be built completely separately to zones or district?
We do have the luxury housing, which you can build there. It also gives you amenities. But yes, we did actually reckon... One of the questions that we actually did ask ourselves during some of this was, how beneficial is housing as a resource? Should we get rid of it? Should we keep it? We decided to keep it, partially because of the effect it has on logistic growth. And we actually asked the same thing about amenities. Are amenities obsolete in this new system? But generally, we want to keep things as familiar as possible to someone that is playing through 14.
Okay.
It's possible that in the future we'll continue revisiting this, especially if you guys have really good ideas that you post on the forum.
All right.
Suggestions and stuff. Oh no.
Is it? Hello, Alfred. Do you have a question that Zgrst was asking? There was I asked it on stream about
necrophages,
do conversion over time.
Conversion over time, or 100 or blocks of 100.
I think it's currently done on Decade Pulse.
Okay, so currently he thinks that it's still done on Decade Pulse.
All right.
Maybe we'll find out.
Yeah. Also, back here, on camera here, you can see Alfred. This is Alfred.
Hello.
I don't know if they can hear you because
you
you're
need to
not in
come
front
close
of
to the microphone.
Hello.
But I'll give you my chair and my headphones, and then you can take it from here.
Oh,
for a
but
little
then I
bit.
can't talk to you.
I can, scream from the back.
Okay.
Do you want to talk to Steven?
Yeah.
Or do you want to talk to me?
Both.
Okay, both of us.
So I was colonizing that planet to show the briefcase appearing.
Yeah.
You should set it to fastest so it doesn't take forever.
All right.
Because I'm not allowed to cheat.
Well, you're not allowed to cheat anymore.
No, chat was
Oh,
scolding.
okay.
Yeah, we should probably get it closer to you. There we go.
That might
Steven,
work.
are you going to hang out here?
Yeah,
No?
I'm gonna sit back there and stare at you guys.
Okay, we're going to sit with the game director right behind us. No pressure.
It's not like,
I'll just sit
Our
back there and look
pioneers have
disapproving.
made planetfall.
hey, cool, we've got new event options here. We're going to make these people more militaristic rather than more xenophobic.
All right. So we're trying to show them the yellow suitcase, and then once we do that, should we move on to the
Biogenesis.
biogenesis?
Yeah.
Because there were questions about how the ascensions of the meat age, how they call them, work. So
It depends how they work. It depends what
Exactly.
choices you make. But we might need to cheat to show that off.
chat, are we allowed to cheat? Yes, we are. I make an executive decision here. Steven also in the back said you're allowed to cheat. Everybody agrees. We're allowed to cheat to show you how it works. Are you ready to answer questions while you're playing the game? See if you can overdo what Steven is currently managing to
Yes.
do. All right, let's go. What was the main reason for reworking the population system?
I thought Stephen would have answered that one, but mostly performance. Calculating individual pops. Yeah, that eats a lot of processing power. But being able to go, oh, okay, cool. We have 80 physicists. Okay, calculate the output of a physicist and multiply it by 80 is a lot faster than calculate the output of a physicist. Calculate the output of a physicist. Calculate the output of a physicist 80 times. And, okay, yes. Also, Stephen's yelling from the back, simultaneous pop growth, because we now have simultaneous pop growth. So if he had started to say syncretic evolution, both of his species would have been growing at once.
Okay. Thank you for the answer. That was a very comprehensive answer.
Thank you.
Again, it was and you also managed to continue playing while doing this. That's why I'm also very impressed. Like, so good job on that.
It's not that difficult.
I don't know. I don't know if I could manage because I would stop to read, and then like the moment the advisor speaks, I stop talking because I'm listening to what she's saying. But
I have been playing the game since it released.
okay,
I have not worked on the game since it released. I only started working on it like
Construction complete.
Necroids.
and you never stopped.
Yeah, why would I want to?
You're still playing the original save file that you started.
No.
It's still going on.
No, I
Construction
have
complete.
played too many save files.
All right.
Anomaly found.
Hey, this is actually a good save. We started next to a ruined archivist.
Oh. But then we can show. Now we have there the yellow
so we've got the
suitcase.
yellow thing here.
Uh-huh.
So we have unemployed pops that automatically migrate to planets. So if we go to this planet has, it has 30 jobs available. Ignore all the other jobs being shown in the tooltip that shouldn't be there. We've got people working on that because we shouldn't be showing livestock if you don't have livestock. But if we go here and we just...
Well, what?
Numbers are...
That's the marketing of the planet. Oh, we also have livestock. How much livestock do you have?
See-
0.
So, like, last month, we had another 36 human workers that were in the, this pop group. What are their ethics? Okay, they're not in a faction, so it's not dividing them.
Mm-hmm. But so basically, when you see the yellow suitcase, it means that they're about to move.
When you see the yellow suitcase, it means they're migrating. If you want them to stay, do something about it, but don't feel that you need to. Whereas, we can support additional buildings, but we don't have that much unemployment, so we don't really need to build anything.
Yep.
No,
it was as opposed to the red suitcase that will now show when you have 100 or more.
if we fire
civilians.
a bunch of people.
Fire people.
Yeah, let's just go through and we're going to fire all of our miners.
Yeah, we are
don't need
restructuring the mining department.
Cool. Well,
It'll stay yellow.
Yeah, and there we go.
no, it's gone red because all the jobs on the other planets are filled up. We've got 200 colonists working here. And we've got over 100 unemployed people, so it goes red.
Can
And
you-
they have nowhere to work.
Can you hire 300 miners so we show that the exact threshold is 100, as Steven was saying?
So if we go there and we hire exact. This is the great thing about this being a slider now. You can drag it to whatever level you want. And I think there's shortcut keys of there's control and shift, but I don't think. Oh, they do now increment in one job. Okay. That might be better if it increments in 10. But now we've got 300 under 300.
And then it's gone.
There you go. We've got some unemployed pops, but there's no yellow briefcase because there's nowhere for them to migrate to.
All right. Now that we've shown this, do you want to move over and start talking about biogenesis?
Yes.
All right. So let me do this screen, and then you can close this one.
So quick.
I am going back to the view with us so that we can change the build we're playing on, because we're playing in the beta patch.
Yeah.
And now we're going to set into biogenesis. And also there is a very handsome man here.
I thought that was a crab.
Well, eventually we're going to call crab man because that's what we're all evolving towards,
Yes.
right? So,
Reject humanity, become crab.
all right, that's our destiny, folks. I hope that you're all okay about pincher. Like, can you imagine like trying to pick your nose with a pincher?
If you're a crab, you wouldn't have a nose.
Yeah, but like there's going to be an intermediate state where I still have a nose and I have pinchers. And I'm like, ow, 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 ow. And you're like, stop pinching yourself. But, no. Okay.
Well, our megacorp will sell you a tool that'll let you do that.
Perfect. Yay, capitalism.
Crabitalism.
All right. I'll try to do this. Now it will go black for a few seconds because it needs to pick up the new screen. And there we are.
Okay. Unfortunately, we don't have the new background art because that's
Yeah,
not what it is.
we have a save file.
We have a save file prepped.
Yeah, load game. And I think it's the very bottom. You have the unsorted games. And then again, it's choose IP.
Ah,
We got prepared.
wonderful. That's amazing. Okay, so I have no idea what empire I'm loading into. It's the UNE.
I think it's unique. I don't know if Matthew did a thing that I asked him to do, which it was to make a xenophobic UNE, just because I found it fine.
No,
funny.
we are not. We are the opposite of a xenophobic.
Okay, so
UNE.
it's the vanilla UNE.
Yes. Okay. Cool.
Next time we're getting the xenophobic. I just find it funny to play the xenophobic.
So we have taken discovery, harmony, and diplomacy traditions. Makes sense. We're the UNE. We have executive vigor, Lord of War. Have we hired any mercenaries? Probably not, but we can if we want to. And
now it's time to pick up.
we can now take biomorphosis.
Which can you explain what bimorphosis is?
Okay, so biomorphosis is the old engineered evolution ascension perk with a fresh coat of paint because we felt like having a fresh coat of paint. So previously it would I think it's been a year since I last looked at the old genetic ascension path, so I might be misremembering things. So previously it was you can take the genetics tradition tree. Now it's you start a situation which lets you choose which tradition tree you want and how you want to mold it. And it gives you a special building which you need to build to unlock the situation. So we're going to go here and we're going to go ahead and take it. Oh, and the other neat thing is all of these are have tooltips. So it's like, okay, cool. So it unlocks purity. What's purity do? That's what the open and finish of purity do.
Aha.
What does cloning do? That's what cloning does. People are taking screenshots. I'm not going to linger over these for too long. That's what mutation does. And that's what the genomic research facility does.
Yeah. Okay. And do we have the codex implemented as well
Ooh,
in
we
this
might.
build? Because that's the other
Yeah, we have
amazing.
the data bank.
Yes, exactly. The data bank.
Not everything has a data bank entry, but a lot of things do.
Exactly. That's also
We
like I
currently
don't think,
have 133 entries in the data bank.
I don't think that we've shown this on stream, Steven, but I think that that's one really neat thing that if you're not sure what you're looking at, you just either by clicking.
What's a tradition? What is a tradition, really? Oh, this is what a tradition is. Traditions provide empire-wide bonuses that are organized in tradition trees. They can be selected whenever an empire has accumulated enough unity to do so. Completing tradition trees unlocks ascension perks. They are managed in the Traditions tab of the Society Management View.
And then you can say, oh, what is Unity?
What's a Unity? I'll click that link. Oh, wait, that's a hyperlink? Cool.
Exactly. And then you also know how to increase and decrease. So if you have a friend that's a new player, you can also point it out to say, if you have any questions, you can also look, and I'm not around.
Yeah.
Of course, always answer and be kind and answer your new player friend, new player. you're friendly and you play. How will you say that in English? Questions in person. That's the fun part of playing with a friend, but also they have a tool. If they're playing alone and say, I'm not sure I understand this, they now have this small neat tool. I really like it. All right.
So we have begun to undertake biomorphosis, but we've got this blocker. We don't have a genomic research facility, so we should build one.
Yeah.
So we'll go to Earth and we'll go.
I think that you need to build it in the district. You need to destroy one of the buildings.
Oh, I think I made it so you can build it in the research district, but that's not in this branch. So we're going to go here and we're going to build it. It's going to take a long time.
I think that it fires as soon as it starts, though.
No, well, we'll build. Can we build one here? Yeah, we can build one here. We have a lot of minerals. We'll build one on every planet. We really want to get this done. Cool. Okay, so we have an event. To expedite our evolution, we must decisively select the path that will define our journey. As we begin to realize our full potential, we are acutely aware that this endeavor could fundamentally alter our very essence. That's kind of the point of why we're doing this. We want to fundamentally alter who we are.
Yes.
Yes.
It's a path of discovery and evolution, I imagine.
So, engineering evolution is a task of profound significance. The alterations we implement now will reshape our future. To begin developing ourselves, we must now choose on which path we wish in our journey. So we can undertake the path of purity, which will lock us to purity for this stage of the situation. So there are 3 stages. Oh, cool. Art got the new icons in. So these now are fancy icons, which match the tradition trees. So this then selects what one of the modular traditions in the tradition tree is. I don't have enough Unity to open up the tradition view, but so I would show that. Do you mind if I cheat to show this?
I think we established that you can cheat.
Okay.
Cheating is fine.
We'll give ourselves a bit of Unity and every other resource in the game because that's easier. So there's placeholder art because we haven't finished all of the art for this. So ignore the placeholder bright pink.
What placeholder bright pink? I see no placeholder bright pink. Everything is perfect.
So each of these tradition trees has 3 empty slots that are filled in as we progress through the situation. So our choice for the first part of the situation will fill in the first of the 3. Then the choice in the second stage will fill in the second, and the choice in the third will fill in the third empty slot. And then when we finish the situation, depending which choices we've made, it asks you, well, which tradition tree do you want? So if we go purity, cloning, mutation, at the end of it we can choose we could choose purity, we could choose cloning, we could choose mutation, but those 3 flexible traditions will be fixed.
Okay.
So I'm seeing a lot of people yelling at mutation, but I'm not going to pick mutation as the first one because that one is currently not fully functional. One of the programmers upstairs is busy working on it because when we merged 4.0 into Biogenesis and we changed how POPs work, suddenly habitability broke. So because mutation's first pick is you get mutagenic habitability, which lets you break the habitability ceiling.
All right. So, and let's explain to chat why we're doing this thing where we're pausing the updates to the beta to do this merge and now progressing. Because once the 2 come together, they will start interacting.
Well, we merged Biogenesis into the 4.0 beta earlier this week. And with having the 2 branches condensed into one has managed to basically dramatically increase our velocity of how fast we can get stuff built. Which we don't have to worry about, this thing I'm doing in 4.0 is breaking this other thing in Biogenesis, or I have to do duplicate work to solve merge conflicts or anything else. It's like, yes, I can update all the Biogenesis stuff, species traits, and all the regular species traits in one merge request. So it increases the speed at which we can go. So for the build that's going out tomorrow, all we did was we took certain things that have been put in since Monday and gone, okay, you're going back into the beta build, and made a special build for it.
Okay. And just so that our viewers understand, a merge request is when you do something in your computer and then you say, this needs to now go in the central Stellaris.
Yeah, I've made some changes locally on the version of Stellaris that's sitting on my computer. I want to put it into the central build that's on the server, and then other people look at your work and go, you've made some typos here, fix them, and then I'll approve it. And then once it gets approved and once it gets tested by QA, it gets merged into the central server, and then from there we make the builds that eventually end up on Steam and GOG and everything.
Okay, so basically you're all working on your small boxes, your small computers,
Yeah.
and then you're putting everything together on the server, which is the
Yes.
bigger Stellaris, and then every night, in case it's a nightly build, you
Yeah.
have a new version of Stellaris with all the changes, and you work it iteratively like this.
Yes. And this, of course, means there's occasionally problems like if I go make a change to the research buildings file and Stephen made a change to the research buildings file, then the server might go, you've both made changes. These files are now different. Fix them. And we have to fix them in order for it to be moved. And that was one of the main blockers while we were running the beta that was making us be slightly slow with updating Biogenesis than we would have liked, even though we were working very fast, in my opinion. Because it's someone changed how the planet UI works. We now have to update Biogenesis for that. And having the two builds in sync is very, very useful.
All right. Let's go back to
So let's go
Biogenesis
back to this.
specifically.
Okay.
So which one are we choosing then? Are we choosing cloning or purity?
Okay, so purity. Oh yes, the other thing as well as adopting a tradition. Each of these, because it takes a while for you to actually get the tradition tree. There's something else I should mention. You only get it when you finish the situation. Each of these gives you an immediate unlock. So the first, second, and third time you pick a path, you get an immediate unlock. It doesn't depend on which tradition it's unlocking. It's just, is this the first time you've chosen it? Is it the second time? Is it the third time? So for example, if we pick cloning,
Yeah.
not only do we get the genomic growth tradition when we unlock a tradition tree, which gives us pop assembly from genomic researchers, but our genomic researchers immediately give us pop assembly. So we double down on the cloning. So we might not even have any cloning facilities built yet, but all these gene facilities that we're building on all of our planets, because we're doing experiments into cloning, we're getting a little bit of cloning done.
Okay.
You guys are hiding the tooltips behind your faces.
Are we?
Oh yes, on stream.
Move the box.
We did it
so
on purposes.
we didn't.
We did on purpose so that people cannot screenshot them.
Okay, I will move the box
Yes.
so it's not being hidden by my face. So,
Actually, we can also do this. Wait, we can just.
we
put
can
this-
just hide my face permanently.
Exactly. We
that's
can just hide,
perfect.
and now we can see all the tooltips.
Yeah. Okay, so this will let us reach the habitability ceiling, because
What? Break habitability ceiling? Habitability of 100%?
yes, we get habitability over 100%, and it gives us all sorts of tasty bonuses.
The video should repeat that because I don't know if they heard what
Stephen's yelling stuff in the background, but you can't hear him.
Yeah, exactly. Steven,
Stephen, come to the microphone.
exactly. Either get a microphone.
Well, Davita's failing to actually ask the questions that are being posted in chat. So
I am trying to, but like we're also trying to show the thing.
So, whoa, where'd it go? Druxlit said, "Wait, what? Break habitability ceiling? Habitability of 100%?" And that's what triggered that one.
Yeah. So yes, if you go above 100% habitability, you get to gain all sorts of useful bonuses. The problems with this is, well, it sets your habitability to 50% everywhere to start with, and then the pops have to auto-mod to adapt to the environment, and that takes a bit of time.
It's okay, it'll get better.
There is a question for you, Alfrey.
Yeah.
How does Biogenesis interact with the overtuned origin?
Okay. It overacts somewhat. So if you have overtuned, you can, so if we go back here, as a regular old prosperous unification UNE, we had to take Biomorphosis as our third ascension perk. Overtuned can take it as their second. So they get access to it slightly earlier, but that's their main benefit from it.
All right.
As you showed earlier, clone armies can get it even earlier.
Yeah, clone armies can get it even earlier, but it's also gated because you have to complete an archaeology site and then a special project, so it's a little bit more restricted. And because I accidentally unpaused the game, it automatically chose purity.
Yeah.
So our flexible tradition 1 has been set to optimize neurology, which boosts our leaders. And our immediate bonus is pop growth speed from genomic researchers plus 5%.
Formula carbon 8, hydrogen 10, nitrogen 4, oxygen
Where is
2.
this? Show me.
This guy has
Oh,
a whole chemical
That's,
formula.
That's just caffeine.
Oh, formula caffeine?
Yeah, that is. I'm fairly confident that is that's caffeine.
And there you go. That's a kind of... really? You know that on top of your...
System survey
okay, wow, I'm impressed. Okay, what happens to the clone army, ancient cloning vats, if they go clone Ascension?
They stick around and continue to give you clones.
Also, we have people in our internal chat saying that they're very proud of you to know that on top of your head. Literally, like, I'm not joking. Like, it's here, like, right here. See, I'm proud that Alfrey knows that the top of there. Like,
Okay, so back when I was in university, I was the type of nerd who had a T-shirt with the chemical structure of caffeine printed on it.
all right,
So yes,
all right. It's impressive, man.
thank you.
Since Megacorp hive minds are coming, will machine intelligent
Well,
Megacorps also be coming?
Megacorp Hive Minds, that was a copy paster in the dev diary.
Yeah.
We accidentally said Megacorps when we went and then posted the description of Hive Minds. I think an errata's been published.
Yeah. Then there is this is more for you, Stephen.
Corporate drones will have to wait a little while.
Yeah,
we found
Vareneki
the
Beneki. They have their own advisor idea, which is Alfrey as Stellaris lover. His voice sounds so nice and sharp.
Oh, God.
Would work well with a bit dark and wise personality. So, Alfrey advisor when?
How much you paying me for this?
I don't know. Just that guy. So we're going to make a trailer for it, and then we see how where it goes, and that's the official process, right? We first make a trailer, you guys love it, then Sim goes, oh, they really liked it, and then we make it an advisor. That's how I understand the process.
Deadline for this was day before yesterday. Sorry.
Brilliant.
A new world has
Okay.
been
Well, we need to keep something to do
So we
for
have
season 10,
a
right?
genomic research facility. It says it provides medical worker jobs, but that's because it's using the job swap system that we've added in 4.0. So if we go over here, it's given us some medical workers, and then medical workers are converted into genomic researchers, and genomic researchers give us society research amenities and all sorts of other things. So let's have a look at them. Oh, we've only got 4 enforcers. Wow. Our country does not like the police. Okay, we should probably fix the bug where the thing is overflowing the box, but let's ignore that for the moment. So we have a bunch of genomic researchers. They are giving us 12 society research.
So wait, you have a 200 pops, which we don't know how many people
Yeah.
they are, because that's totally up to you.
Yes.
Researching genomic researchers, and then we have 4 pops doing police.
Yes.
This is the UNE. They're not really a big police state.
Well,
Are
if,
they-
if
what-
we want to get rid of the enforcers completely, I have a plans for that.
Okay, just like, okay, we're space hipsters. Okay, like we're just like no police here, only research. Like
Yeah.
we're illuminated atheists or something.
So
All right.
we're getting a bunch of society research, which is good because that's where biology research falls under. We're getting a bunch of amenities, 1,500 in fact. We've still got an amenity deficit. Oh, that's because it hasn't ticked over to the month and taken that into account. They're giving us some pop growth. And they're giving us situation progress speed. So if we go to the situation, we hover over here, you can see as all of our genomic researchers are being employed, it's advancing the speed of the situation. But
All right. Can we cheat to end the stage, or?
yeah, we can do that. We can go.
All right.
Is this? Yeah, this keyboard set to Swedish. What are we currently?
I think it's 600.
We're currently at 62. So if I give us 530. Oh, we finished the situation. The tipping point. Engineering our own evolution has led to profound advancements, and we skipped all of the narrative events that would have normally been played. We'll ignore that, though. The combination of...
So there is way more to this. Like right now, you're just powering through to show you everything.
You would get, I think it's 2 or 3 events every stage, which are drawn from not only the approaches you've selected in the current stage, but the approaches you've selected in the previous stage. So if I select cloning in the first stage, in the third stage, I can still, from the deck of cards of events that are possible, get a cloning event. But it's less likely than whatever the current approach is.
All right. Makes sense.
I find it useful to think of how the events are drawn as drawing things from a deck of cards, because
And events will grant you further progress.
the events will either could affect your situation progress, or grant you timed modifiers, or kill a bunch of pops, or give you a bunch of pops, or give you a clone of a leader, I think is one of them. our content designers went wild and wrote, I can't remember how many events. I think there's
Many.
between 6 and 10 for every approach.
Mhm.
Don't quote me on that because I haven't looked at those numbers in about 6 months.
So this is not a contractual commitment.
Yeah, it's exactly.
Don't quote us on that. But there are multiple events for every selection, for every stage, or in total?
There's multiple events in total.
In total, okay. And they can happen based on your choice in various stages.
Yeah, and the narrative events you get depend on the choices you make.
But so it's the pool of events is the same for the first, second, and third phase. It just changes the pool based on your choices,
Yeah.
where it's pulling from. Okay,
Yeah.
cool.
But this does mean in the first stage, you will only get events pertaining to the approach you've selected because you've only historically selected one approach.
Yeah.
You have a question?
I have. There are a lot of questions. Like, so, for example, how does the new pop system work with the Cosmogenesis crisis path megastructure?
Things die faster
Yeah.
because
People
there's
can
a-
die simultaneously instead of dying one after the other.
So it goes faster?
Well, the people die faster, so you spend less energy on the upkeep of the giant brain computer.
Ah, okay. Will cloning also add points and be about adding more traits, or mostly focus on clone VATs?
Okay, so all 3 of the genetic ascension paths give you access to additional trait points and picks. I can show that off quickly.
Yeah. Very should choose another thing to let
Yeah,
the situation
okay,
continue.
so for stage 2, we're going to select cloning, which will give us... what does this give us? It gives us artificial population, which makes our genomic researchers reduce crime because, you know, we know about people. Or we can go mutation. Actually, let's go mutation, because that'll boost our leaders even more. So we'll go mutation for the stage. So if we go to all 3 of these, you can see on this, these should be filling in, but the icon's not changing. I'll look at that when I go back upstairs. But, so, this one here for cloning, it gives us more species modification points and trait picks, and a bunch of other things here and there, which I'm not going to go into too much detail about. On mutation, this one also gives us a bunch of trait points and trait picks, but subtly different numbers, and a number of other things that we're not going to go into in detail about. And for purity, this one also gives us trait points and trait picks, but again, subtly different numbers. So all of them give you the ability to gene mod your species, just with limited degrees of freedom.
Yep.
And now the biomorphosis situation is stuck because we need to research the gene tailoring tech, because it's a bit difficult to know how to gene mod people if you don't know how to gene mod people. But fortunately, it gives the tech to us as a research option.
Yep.
So we can just go here and cheat horribly.
In the meanwhile, Peter Smith is asking, have you fixed federations and added friendly claims yet?
Knowledge is
That's
the
on-
key
that's
to
on
the
the boss.
universe.
That's on the boss. Steven, have we fixed federations?
I mean, I don't get the question entirely.
Peter Smith, can you clarify your question? We are a bit unsure on what you're meaning. On the other hand, Voodoo Woodpecker has a question for you. If you have an empire with bioships, but choose either crisis path and become custodian / emperor, do you get access to both bio and mechanical ships that way?
Let me think. So if you take one of the crisis paths, well, one of the 3 I'm not going to talk about because that's to
No.
be spoken about later. If you go Galactic Nemesis, you'll still be able to get access to the menacing ships of asteroids with guns duct taped to them, except your guns will probably be alive. And if you go Cosmogenesis, yes, you should still have access to the Fallen Empire ships, but you'll be sticking biological weapons on them, not mechanical weapons on them.
So you have ancient Fallen Empire ships with tentacles on it going, woo! It's amazing. I'm going to do that.
Yes, except unfortunately we don't have the art budget to actually reanimate all of the Fallen Empire ships with tentacles.
Okay. But I can leave that fantasy. Like,
yes, you can imagine it.
Stellaris is also like a game that lets you dream of what your adventure, right? So
Yeah.
you just go, oh, that's how my ship looks like in reality.
Okay, we're gonna cheat this one again.
EP30, hey, EP30, is asking, does mutation habitability over 100% work on artificial worlds almost like rings.
Yeah, I don't know if I can show that because I think the options disappeared. Let me save quickly and roll back. And I can show that off. It was that one.
So we need to load back to show this.
Yeah, it's just so that I can show the tooltip off properly. I'll grant them that. Okay, so if we go down... Oh, we have a lot of ascension paths. Okay, so if we go here and we look at environmental integration. Okay, so this gives us the mutagenic habitability trait, which will pick traits from the mutagenic habitability list. So if it's on that list, you can probably get 100% habitability on the planet.
So Ringworld is there.
Ringworlds are there, yeah.
Yeah.
It might not be as good as some of the others, but yeah, you can like mutate to be perfectly live on this wonderful tomb world, which was nuked to hell and back.
Okay.
But that's fine, because if you're doing that, you probably are radiotrophic and live off the natural radiation of the planet.
Sorry, I was also reading the next question. Just want to clarify, because I see a bunch of questions about the other expansions and content as part of Season 09, and I want to say that right now all the information available is on our Steam page, and in the announcement dev diary, we will not share much more. Right now we're focused on Biogenesis and 4.0. So if you want to know more about those, you'll need to be patient for a bit, because now we want to talk about this. Cool. Are we back to our second stage? Yes.
Yeah. So we're about to finish the second stage, except the game also paused. Okay, and now we get to pick another one. So accuracy will give us imperfect radiation, which lets us... Okay, so this one's interesting because we're the UNE and thus xenophile.
Yes.
This option here gives us faster subspecies integration. If
All right.
we weren't xenophile, it would let us purge people.
Oh.
Well, that's rude.
Yes, which is why it's good that we were the UNE.
Okay, because I was asking to get a xenophobe UNE.
Yes.
That's still...
The third option, if we go cloning, is leaders can have backup clones.
Wait. So it's like, oh, actually there was another me in a cryogenic chamber over there.
Yeah,
and
there was a Davide in a vat, so that when you got hit by the bus on the way into work, we just de-thawed the one in the vat and everything's fine. And you can just...
Okay.
Yeah. And it's upgraded if you do something special, but...
Yeah, because we made that back up 6 months ago, so
yeah,
it'll take a little bit of time to get up to speed.
Yeah. And
so
then,
it's 6 months behind in the process to become a crab.
Yeah. And
Right.
then, okay, previously genetic ascension gave you access to special traits from Leviathans, but they're locked behind mutation now.
Yeah.
But we're probably going to go cloning.
All right. We want
So-
to have the backup, Davide. I
So
guess.
we've gone purity once, mutation once, cloning once.
And what we got as result was... Oh, we need
Very
to...
unfocused.
Yes. Okay, and now it will
I'm also
finish.
going to do this sneaky thing and add ourselves
Okay.
here. And you can show
And-
Steven's hand.
Hi.
Now it asks, well, which tree do we want vitality? And
Mutation.
Okay.
Mutation.
Council
Got
agenda
mutation.
available.
so we have the mutation tradition tree. Oh, now all the icons have swapped out. Cool.
Mhm.
So we've got the opener from mutation, the finisher from mutation. This is a mutation tradition. This is a mutation tradition. Purity. That is mutation, and then that is cloning.
Okay, so our choices affected the opening ability, the one when
Yep.
you select the tradition. The three in the left-hand side of
Yep.
the... Like, there are three that are going to change based on your choices during the process. And
Yes.
then there is the final choice where you effectively choose which one you want that will determine the ending.
Yeah. So your choice at the end of the situation basically chooses which of the opener, finisher, and then the two fixed traditions you want, and everything else depends on the choices you made during the situation.
Yeah.
Okay, so we
And-
gained the adaptive mutations trait.
Yeah. So, and that's the first time we do something like this
Yeah.
on Stellaris.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Um, So back, I think in 3.1 LEM, we let you select which tradition trees you had access to, because before then it was just every country in the game had the same same 7 tradition trees. We have a lot more than 7 tradition trees these days.
Yep.
Now we're letting you pick what traditions go inside the tradition tree.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so it's
It seemed appropriate for mutation to be able to mutate their tradition trees.
exactly. So we've got the adaptive mutations auto-modding trait,
Mhm.
which is just going to modify our people to be better at whatever job they're working. And each of these is going to give them plus 2% job efficiency on whatever job they're working.
Yep.
Once they're modified. But it does take a while. So if we go here, we can see, okay, these guys are currently getting adaptive sense organs, but the current efficiency is 0%.
All right.
And that tooltip's a bit bulky, and we'll try and clean that up before release.
Yeah.
We also got an agenda, because every tradition tree gives you an agenda.
Mm-hmm.
And this one, oh, that's the biomorphosis one from taking the Ascension perk, which gives you access to the text.
Yep.
They should be, where are you? There we go, Divergence Directive. So it makes our auto-mod pops auto-mod faster while
Alright.
it's ticking. And then once it's launched, they auto-mod even faster. And then every species in our empire that's made of meat or rock gains adaptive mutation. So one of the advantages of this is if you're playing mutation, you might not want to go in and go here, create template, add this trait to the species, when you could just go, oh, buy this tradition and everyone in the empire gets the trait. Cool,
Alright.
done. But we've got more traditions to pick. So we can pick this one. So currently the adaptive mutations trait is giving everyone plus 2% job efficiency on what they're doing.
Mhm.
This will boost it to 10%.
All right.
And also make them auto-mod faster. And if we find a hive mind, we can give them some individuality. This one will boost our leaders. This one will boost all of our genomic researchers and boost our leaders further. This one will give all of our leaders backup clones.
So every time a leader dies, they just go, haha.
Not
really.
every time a leader dies. Every time a leader with the backup clone trait dies,
Aha.
they can potentially recover. And then this one lets us do some weird things with species modification. And then this one, our medical workers are converted into genomic researchers empire-wide.
Mhm.
And we could pick a mutation government, which was biodiverse liberty, which, yeah. Note, not final, numbers are not final.
And I believe that with this one,
What? The tentacles on...
Tentacles.
all of them have tentacles. Look, it's a tentacled hive mind.
all right, I was about to say, oh, look, there is also Tentacled Megacorp. I was about to say it's 1703.
Yeah.
I think that with showing the government form, I think we can call it a day.
Yeah, I think so.
So, should we...
What I will do, though, is I'll show people that, yeah, all of our leaders have backup clones, and we'll kill someone. If I can remember the console command. I am still not used to
Declare war on
Sweden.
the nearest fallen empire.
That's another solution. Is there Fallen Empire?
All right. While you do this, I will also suggest our chat, let's put it this way, to tune in next week because we are going to show a couple of cool things as well. No spoilers, but, you know, like when we did the, for no reason at all, there are 2 dev diaries next week. We might have something that we are keeping in our back pocket.
That'd be cool.
It's going to be cool, says Steven, right? Who's there? I don't know if you can hear him from over there. Steven, come here. Come say goodbye to the chat. So, from the Stellaris team,
Why are you waving at me?
you're supposed to say your name.
Say
Like,
your name.
Oh,
I
my
take
name. Byron. Alfrey.
Alfrey and Steven
Steven?
and Davide. Thank you for joining us. Alfrey, we're done streaming. You can stop.
Hey.
All right. Have a great evening, and I will see you all next week. Bye.
Bye.